You are now entering the MuseCast.
Hey everybody, this is Dick and Ash then Dick, in the MuseCast episode 98 with our special guest friend, once again, Mr. Steve Reis from Woodrite Guitars. What's up, brother?
What's up, guys? These are the colossal incantation pickups, hand wound in the Seymour Duncan custom shop. Thanks for having me back on. Nice to see you both again, or well, Ash again, Dick. How's it going?
This was my famous return to form in the last episode with Mr. Steve. I was famously absent, working, burning the candle at both ends, and actually, I was fine. I was sound asleep through that entire episode. I think I woke up.
I had a good time. It was good.
We did, and it was the only time that's ever happened before and after.
I think he was worried. I could tell he was legitimately worried about it.
I was worried. I was getting very concerned that maybe you got in some car accident or something had gone terribly wrong.
That has happened to me in the past. And actually, fun story. I got in a car accident last year in my son's car, and had
so
to.
Fun.
I borrowed my son's car for work. Woke up, couldn't find my keys. Borrowed my son's car, and I got in an accident. And the silver lining to this story, and I'll be super quick with this, was I got in the accident and the airbags did not deploy in my son's car, which was very thankful that it happened to me and not to him. So this week was new car week for my son, and he is the proud owner of a Toyota Prius, and he is rocking 50 mpg, and in this time and day,
Nice.
50 mpg is, there's nothing bad about that. So
That's great.
That'll be my intro story. Okay,
There we go.
Steve,
That's a good one.
tell us. My first question I want out the gate. You were at the NAMM guitar show this year, representing your brand. You have so many brands. I follow you on Instagram. Does It Doom? Follow Woodrite Guitars, owner of Woodrite Guitar. Tell us about it, man.
It was a great experience. I had never been before, so it was. I'd never been as a fan, or never been to the convention in general, and so going first time as an exhibitor and trying to put that all together. Of course, I waited to the last minute. It was like, am I going to go? Am I not going to go? And then I had a local guitar shop, Vera Guitars, was like, oh, you can come with us and, hang with us if you want. And I was like, if I'm going to go, I may as well just try to do it. So with like very late December, I started the application process, because it's not just show up, right? Like you have to become a member, you have to reserve space, you have to be allocated your spot. Then you have to get a booth, and you have to get banners, and you got to look presentable, right? So I had to get stand-ups made and banners made and T-shirts made and flyers and business cards and a demo rig, and then figure out how I was going to get everything there, because I didn't ship it out ahead of time. So thankfully,
I'm sorry. How many weeks ahead are we talking about right now?
I mean, it was literally like December 26th. I sent the application. I think NAMM was like the 21st of January. So I had 4 weeks, and it took them a long time to even. You can imagine, right? Because this is everybody's emailing them at this point in time, right? Like all these exhibitors are trying to get their shit figured out, and here's me just trying to get a small 5x10 booth, and what do I matter compared to all these other bigger, companies that have probably been going forever, that have tons of square feet and are really trying to get their shit together. But so it was like just a couple days before they finally assigned me the booth space. And thankfully, I was going to go by myself, which in hindsight was insane. To try and go do that deal by myself would have been insane. But my buddy Bill, who's helped with QC, Bill Davis, has helped me with QC for Woodrite for many years. And, so we get batches of guitars. He'd help me QC everything and pack them. Or if, Matt's coming here to sign things and whatnot, he would come help me with all that. So it turned out that he was available, and at the last minute decided that he wanted to come do that as well. So he came with me, and very thankful for him coming, because it would have been impossible without him. We just hung out.
People don't understand how hard that is.
I mean,
like one person, that'd be crazy.
Just all the people coming up and talking to you, like, you know, just so many people coming to try the stuff and just to talk about the gear and see what you're about. And some people know who you are, and some people have no idea, and just think the stuff looks cool, right? So there's just the whole gamut. But you're definitely in the mecca of like the guitar world and the guitar internet space. So lots of people were familiar with the brands, and lots of people were excited to come check things out and play some pedals. And we brought a full demo board, and I think we brought 3 or 4 guitars. I got like one of the big, like 4 guitar Enki cases, or 3 guitar Enki cases. And then we carried a bass and another guitar. So I thought it was a great success for us. Obviously ended up landing ourselves in Andertons Music over in the UK there, which has been huge for Does It Doom, and now they're going to be taking Woodrite Guitars as well. So just you know, getting to get hooked up with those guys. They service all of the UK and the EU as well.
Wow, just that one thing alone,
and that was huge. And just getting to meet, yeah, no doubt. I mean, I didn't expect that to, you know, I wouldn't have expected that to come out of it, you know, but Oz, their video editor there, was a fan of the brands, and he came by multiple times to check out the gear and just talk to us. And I was like, please, you know, if you can get Lee to come by. And he was like, he's really busy. His schedule's packed. I don't know if he'll come. And he came back and was like, well, I think I can get the purchasing guy to come. And then lo and behold, with like just a couple hours left in the show, Oz comes back with Lee Anderton. Wow. And, you know, they checked everything out, and right there decided to grab a bunch of pedals. So that was just huge for us. And just getting to meet, you know, the guys at some other shops that we've worked with but never met in person. Got to meet the guys from Coda in the UK. Got to meet all the guys from the Music Zoo, who we've worked with in New York, and they've been an amazing partner of ours with Woodrite. And so, yeah, just, and like I said, just to meet all the fans and all the people. I mean, it was just, and then getting to meet like Ola England and, you know, just a lot of personalities that I maybe, you know, I know Fluff and the guys that I have never met in person, but have talked to online. Getting to meet some of these guys in person was really cool as well. Yeah, it's super worthwhile. I kind of am kicking myself for not going earlier. I'll certainly be going next year, and probably every year for the foreseeable future.
That's so great, man.
That's great, you know, and maybe next year I can bring Jimmy Bauer with me, or we can bring Pike with us, or something. Would be really cool. So, yeah, it was a great experience. Fantastic. Even as a fan, like it would be really fun to attend. Like if you're a fan of guitars and guitar gear, I think it's probably the fun.
I definitely want to go. It's on the bucket list to start attending, you know, NAMM, and just go. It's fun. Just try it out.
It's gnarly.
The closest thing that we've done, you know, we've done a couple horror conventions here in Florida.
They're like comic cons.
They all have that same vibe, though. It has the same vibe. Yeah, you know? I had done comic conventions when I was a kid, and you know, home shows and stuff like that. It all had that same vibe. It's like, oh man. But yeah, like I got to meet Matt Bacon, who I've known for like 8 years or something. You know, I was on his podcast, I think, when Does It Doom had like 5,000 followers or something.
Oh, wow.
It was so cool to meet a lot of people that maybe, you know, I'd known for a long time, but never met in person. But yeah, it was great.
Right on. So Steve, how, and I'm sorry if this has been asked to you by Ash already, but how long have you been doing Woodrite?
So funny enough, a photo came up on my phone. I think it was from July 2021 was when it was a photo of the first 2 prototype Woodrites, like the first 2 Warlord prototypes with dot inlays, no binding. That was when the first prototypes, probably, I don't know if that date was like the exact date or I took a picture or whatever, but that's the time frame, about 2021, sometime in July, which means we at least ordered them 3 months in advance of that. But those were even made at a different facility than where we build now, you know, because we ended up going through the whole process to get the Warlords going with NAMM Music in Korea. This was kind of 2021, right? So during COVID. And then I think with all the supply chain issues and stuff, they just decided they didn't want to continue working with us at that time. I think they were struggling to just probably meet the needs of their long time brands and partners. And so fortunately that happened though, because we ended up working with finding a new company to work with called PT Wildwood, who builds for LTD and Yamaha and I think Solar is built there. And so just a fantastic facility with tremendous capabilities, and they've been amazing to us. And so yeah, that's kind of how that went down. But we've been doing that for about 5 years now.
So cool, man. And you guys are really, really high quality stuff. I'm the owner of a Woodrite, of one of the Brent Hinds Vagabonds. It's actually my son. I'm not the owner, but I'll say the thing when I am the purchaser. Yeah. And no, it plays amazing. It's a V, it's lightweight. It's not a super, I have a 7-string Epiphone Les Paul, the first 7-string run that Gibson did. Yeah. They tossed the Epiphones out. It's like a classic. That thing weighs like 11 pounds, I think.
Oh, dude, the Gibsons are so heavy.
Well, I mean, we can the Warlords get up there. I gotta say, I mean, there's a lot of wood. It depends how much wood, but the Vagabonds are so. We had everybody at NAMM doing the T test, we called it. So they would like strap it up and then just hold your arms out because it doesn't neck dive at all. And those are like 6.8 pounds or something, very light. But a lot of V's will dive on you, and it balances perfect. I mean, that was obviously, an honor to be able to do a guitar for Brent, and in hindsight, what ended up being the last piece of signature gear that he did.
In hindsight, that was amazing.
He was awesome, and so unfortunate what happened there. And we're grateful to have had the opportunity to work with him and do that guitar. And we had plans to do more stuff, and unfortunately, it kind of just all is gone. I've mentioned, but we're trying to reach out to the estate and work with them and see if there's anything they want to do going forward. But that was a limited run of guitars. I think there's only 80 of them that exist. So that's a really cool piece to have. I mean, they pop up on Reverb every once in a while, and people charge a pretty penny when they do. So that's
I think we were lucky to get it. We got it before he passed away, because it was my son's birthday present. So it was last year, mid-year. And I think it was the last one in the shop up there at the facility.
Yeah, we had plecked the last two at Vera Guitars. We had plecked them to make like a video. That was I think that was many months before he passed, but that was the end. It was, you guys got the last one, I think.
It was late in the year, and then my son and I went to his memorial march, and that's where we met Tom Cheshire. And Matt Pike was there. We met Matt Pike, and and obviously Braun and the guys from Mastodon were all there too, and it was really just surreal, just to be there as far, because that was Brent was my son's hero. That's why he wanted the guitar. It was like me growing up with Cliff Burton was my first one, and then that became Adam Jones and the Dime Bag and stuff. Yeah. And then but Brent, it's always, and I asked Kyron, my son's name, I asked him earlier today. I said, hey, we got Steve, and I'm not going to sleep through this one. But I asked him, what's your favorite style to play on the Vagabond, so I can tell Steve, and he said definitely the chicken picking.
That's fun. That's cool, man. Yeah, Brent was such a unique guitarist in that way, very difficult. Just such a unique style, it's just to even wrap your head around it. It's just pretty unique player.
Nothing like it. But so, question about the you said the Warlords are a little heavier, and the Warlords come in 6 and 9 strings.
Yeah.
So is that a Pike thing? Did he ask for that?
Yeah, so Matt back in the mid to late 2000s had this First Act custom shop DC6 guitar that was a 9-string, and it was almost his it's the body shape that the Warlord eventually became was kind of based around. And so Matt played that guitar as his only stage guitar for several years, probably 2007 to 2011. And it was a 9-string, 6-course 9-string, where the high strings are all doubled in unison and the bottom 3 strings are just standard. single string courses. And so really from the very beginning, as we built these Warlords, it was kind of the dream to build a 9-string version, but that required a custom bridge that we had to design. There's no like 9-string tail pieces on the shelf. So we had to design those, and just getting the string spacing correct and spacing at the nut. We just thought, let's start with 6s, build out the brand a bit, and then we'll do the 9s. And so it was a dream of ours for sure from the very beginning, because there's been so many people like myself and other fans of Pike, and the guys that, Bill and Brent had a 9-string, and so anybody in that Mastodon, High on Fire circle who's been into the bands, I think for the, a good 20 years or so now, would be familiar with those original 9-strings. And so it was our dream and goal to get those back in the market and give all these people the opportunity to play one, because really First Act maybe made 10 of them or something. Like there's just not a lot of them. There's 15 and they're super rare. It took me forever to find one. I finally did. And I didn't even find it. Someone offered it to me. Not for sale anywhere else. It wasn't like listed or online or anything. So we brought those to market, and they've sold amazingly well. No surprise. And we're going to be doing more because we've done 2 batches now and we have none left. So it's really cool to get them back out in the world. We're out in the world for the first time.
Is this a consistent track record that you guys just keep kind of selling out of each edition that
we try, I mean, we're sold out right now. We've got more guitars coming at the end of the month. So, I think we build in limited batches. You try to build the right amount. And that's not to say we haven't overbuilt at times. We have. Mm-hmm. We've overbuilt things and took a while to sell. And but we're getting smarter and getting better at it, and knowing kind of how many of each to order and how much finish variation to do, and when to.
How do you gauge that? Is it based off of an email list? Do you do a survey before you do a run? Or
I think it's based on his past sales and what we feel is popular. It's a lot of gut feel, honestly. And I mean, we have sales records and we know what has sold fast and what's sold slow. If something sells slow, we probably don't do it again, or we wait a while before we do it again. And if
do you ever think about doing like a pre-sale, like just to see like
we do that a lot too.
You do that a lot already, so
which can help, but pre-sales are stressful because then you got you got a timeline you have to adhere to, and if anything goes wrong, if there's any delay in anything, it's like you can get delayed by a month or 2, and then you got to deal with all these emails and everybody wondering where their stuff is.
Well, and back out like, oh, now I got cold feet.
You don't get too much of that, but you do get some of it. You do get some people back out here and there, and especially if the date's coming and you're like, well, it's going to be another 3 or 4 weeks. And thankfully we haven't been too bad. In the grand scheme of pre-orders, you see some people are like months to years late. We've never been anything like that. I'd say probably the latest we've been is 2 months or something. But we still do pre-orders. I mean, it's great from a business standpoint for us because you get to, we know exactly how many to order, so we don't over order anything or we don't under order. But but the customer at the same time then has to pay up front and wait a long time, and so that's not the best experience there either. So
sure, but I feel like you guys, I feel like Woodrite Guitars fan base, consumer base, is probably a pretty diehard loyal bunch.
Yes,
because Woodrite, we had Mike Sanchez was on here with us last year, and such an amazing episode.
Acid person.
Just like one of my heroes, right? Like I was totally in shock and awe, but he's a Woodrite player. And like I'm one of the people who's just waiting for the Mike Sanchez, because I hear, is that still in the works?
And me both. No, we're very far, we're pretty far along with it. All the CAD is done. And we've submitted the CAD as of just a few days ago. So, we CAD model everything. And so it looks sick, his signature. And so hopefully we'll be able to reveal something here over the next few months. But it's been obviously likewise just a dream of mine to have Mike Sanchez playing one of our guitars. Just a long time fan, and to see that, I got to see that band the first night of the reunion tour, or their first reunion show, playing a Woodrite Vagabond was pretty fucking cool. And
absolutely.
you know, so we've been stoked. The signature we're gonna do for him looks fucking awesome, and I think it's an ode to kind of history, but also, you know, kind of the current day. It's really cool. So
yeah,
cool, man. That's exciting.
That is really exciting, because I mean, that was the to see that he was on a Woodrite, and I had no idea. You know, Acid Bath was always this underground, you know, almost forbidden fruit of music, you know, like, but just such an important, you know, group for music. And to see them live, and to see, you know, that he was playing a Woodrite, you know, I spotted it out. We saw him at Rockville.
Yeah, it was early too.
And man, it was just surreal. And I was like, hey, that's a Woodrite, V. That's the same company that Brent's playing. Like, wait a minute now. It was, you know, I was like, I was starting to put these dots together. I was like, wow, that's cool. And then he said, like, you know, that the one he was playing was a prototype, and it was a reverse headstock from the typical one. You know, I was like, oh, that's so cool. I think he called it a swamp burst or something.
Yeah. It was a prototype we had. I had heard he didn't have you know, he didn't even know where his old V was that he played back in the day. You know, I mean, he had lost track of that thing years and years ago, I think, and didn't really have much gear. So we had heard, you know, we've got mutual friends down in New Orleans, and someone reached out to me mentioning that, and I was like, well, yeah, I mean, we've got this sick V here that's got the headstock reversed. We can't ever sell it, and we'd love to give it to him. And so that's just how that happened. And now we're down the road a year and a bit, and getting a signature model spooled up that's going to be pretty sick. So I'm excited to see it and play it, and the CAD looks sick. It's exciting.
Hell yeah. So with Woodrite, is there, you guys make, I know you have the Warlord, the Vagabond. You have another one, the name escapes me right now. It's kind of like an aggressive jazz master almost.
Yeah, we do that. That's called the Switchblade. We've got a couple versions of that. It's like, one is kind of like a Jaguar, and one is like a jazz master, kind of blended with an SG almost.
Yeah.
So that's our Switchblade and Switchblade HT. We've got one called the Revelator. That's kind of a blend of an RD SG sort of thing. Really cool. That's a very popular model. And then we've got one kind of a hybrid Firebird Telecaster called the Firecaster. And what else do we got? And then we got a couple basses that came out this year. The Graver, which is again like kind of an RD or a grabber SG blend kind of thing, and then a Warlord bass. So I think that I think that's the majority of the lineup for now, but we've also got a bunch of other really cool designs. If you keep up with @Woodrite Guitars on Instagram, you'll see he'll post kind of some design ideas that he's got cooking, and he's been posting one lately called the Fear Bird, which is pretty sick, and we've got one called the Usurper that's pretty sick. These are just ideas of for future releases. What's there's like one called the Exhumer or something, and all very cool. So it's just kind of like getting them prototyped, making sure we like them, make sure we're happy with them. But we do everything. We've got a really great process for designing everything in CAD first. So we pretty much are sure what we're going to get. Like, all the CAD and CAM is provided by us to them, and they just cut and build to our specifications. So there's no real surprises. You know, we've not got a guitar that we've ever had issues with. Maybe like, oh, you have to tweak the neck pitch slightly or something for production, but nothing significant. You know, it's like they're basically ready to go.
Sure. Wow, that's pretty amazing. So you're saying that the testing, once how does this work? Are you doing it by hand first, and then from there you get the CAD figured out for it?
No, we draft it all in CAD first. So it's
how do you know that? How do you nail it out of the gate so often?
Well, I mean, the guys that are doing it, you know, Shay, my partner at Woodbine, and then you know, we also are associated with another professional draftsman who's been doing and designing and building guitars for decades as well. So both of these guys are like high level pros, and
I'm sure it comes a lot of math, right? Like you have specifications
for sure. You got to get the scale right. You got to get that, like I said, the neck pitch right, making sure all the cavity sizes are correct, and so you can fit all the pots, but you're efficient with your pickup sizing and everything. Because we try not to, like, a lot of guys do have issues with guitars being misbalanced and neck diving and stuff because they just route out all the wood and they just make it so you can just drop in pickups and it's all swimming pool routed and shit, where all of our stuff is routed tight. We keep as much wood as possible, which does result at times in heavier guitars, but they're always really well balanced with great tone and resonance and sustain. I always feel like a heavier guitar sustains better, and that's my personal feeling from all the guitars.
I don't have a million guitars, but I only have 3 electrics, but one of them is a Gibson Les Paul. It's a 1960 reissue, and it's heavy as can be. But I was just playing it the other night for the first time in a little while because I've been playing my Ibanez and I've got an ASP, and it's just the tone that comes out of it is just it's undeniable.
I feel like it matters, man. I feel like
there's something to it. Yeah.
So we're fortunate, man. We just got a great team, and at the end of the day, my role is more of, at least on the guitar side, is more of just the helping with sales and marketing, and I get to lend my thoughts on designs and whatnot. But I'm definitely not the core of the design team. That we've got Shay at Woodbine, who's basically the lead of the design team, and that's kind of how we split the roles,
Well,
and then we've got another group of guys that handle all of our like quality control and fulfillment and stuff like that. So
well,
I love that you play so many different guitars on your social on YouTube. I mean, I think that adds a lot of credibility to the taste that people would expect. If you were only playing exclusively Woodrite all the time, well, one, I guess it would be a different channel, but two, it's like you want somebody is that seasoned with experimentation and exploration and all the different types of guitars.
Yeah, I still like, even owning the brand, right? You still love the guitar. I don't know. I still love guitars in general, right? So it's like, I feel like it would be kind of disingenuous to just only play my guitars. I just wouldn't feel right. Like, sometimes I want to play my 78 Les Paul, or sometimes I want to play my Iommi custom shop guitar or whatever, because they suit the song. Like, I still like to play to the song, if I'm teaching or we're demoing something, like I still want it to be kind of authentic to what it should be, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think you nail. I mean, like the tonal quality and what you're hitting is like dead on.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I mean that in itself is and then you're sharing all the settings too.
Yeah, I try. I mean, I try to share what I can of what I've learned and what I know, and I know at times that stuff really interested me when I would see people playing and like, well, how do you have that set? How do you get that tone?
But that didn't exist. I mean, just the idea that can be shared the way that it is. I mean, and the fact that you have the channels that you do. What a new frontier of opportunity that it's just so cool that any of us can look online, and you included, I'm sure, get inspired and look up stuff by other people all the time. How you were, all the people you were familiar with when you went to NAMM. It's like, it's such it used to be the dark arts, man. Like this stuff, you wouldn't be able to figure this out. I mean, before my time, I've interviewed some really older musicians, and they would just talk about, and these guys have been playing forever, and they're amazing musicians, and they would go play a show with a band, and then they would teach each other like, a lick. And it's like, oh, that's how you're doing that.
Yeah,
we
sure.
take it for granted now. You know, you can kind of look up anything now.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is cool. And now you have players that can do stuff that, and at younger and younger ages, that just is mind-boggling, because of all the access to the knowledge. And it's like, if you want to learn it, you can do it, and you're part of that equation, which is so cool,
I had people early on get pissed at me for like revealing the dark arts.
Really?
Yeah, giving away the trade secrets. You know,
how dare you tell people I had the rat with the filter all the way?
Exactly. Yeah. Honestly, I did. And again, I talk about shit like that, and that's like a very like minor section of the population, but still funny because it still happens.
There's still some gatekeepers in the metal community, unfortunately.
Gatekeeper, like, fuck this guy. He's giving away all the secrets. Like,
they sold out. Oh no, it's not cool anymore. Like, speaking of
stolen valor, you know.
yeah. Speaking of pedals, though, Steve, you guys have a line of is it Woodrite pedals, or is it Does It Doom?
Woodrite is the guitar company, and Does It Doom is the pedal company, and they're separate companies. I own half of each, I guess. I mean, Does It Doom is my personal brand that I started from scratch, but then I started a pedal company with kind of my best friend of a few decades. And the company is Tritone Engineering that we started together, and basically does it, you know, the products are built for Does It Doom at a zero licensing fee of zero. So
beautiful.
That's how that works.
Mm-hmm.
And then Woodrite I own with a different, you know, I'm 50% owner in that company with an entirely different individual and an entirely different company. So, but it all kind of funnels through Does It Doom, you know, because it has a big following, and so that's how we've been able to reach more people with the brand and probably get the brand out there and expand maybe a little faster than could otherwise be done, which has been great. It's weird because sometimes I'm still the face of it all, and I don't know if I should be the face of it all, but you're kind of stuck with it when you do. You know, once you are, there's no way out.
It just works out the way it does. I mean, it makes sense. It's not like it just happens without effort that you've built the following that you have. I mean, it takes time to make all those videos, from the stripped down ones to the more complicated ones where you're trying to go the extra mile. We were talking in our in our last conversation just about like how things are evolving and changing. It's almost like the stripped down video is where things are kind of at right now, that gets the most viewership and stuff, and people kind of gravitate to it. But it's a changing landscape. It might switch back to where you have to put more production time into each episode. It's weird.
Certainly ebbs and flows, right? It seems like whatever people get used to, then the opposite thing works. It's like with any trend. But I do feel like right now it's still I've been doing a bit of a hybrid at times, but most of my content is very raw at this point, and man, some of it just crushes. And I don't know. It's fine with me. It's
Well, I think
go sit on an amp and put up a phone and play a couple of riffs, and it gets 150,000 views. It's like, wow, that took like 8 minutes. You know,
that's amazing. And I do think it's a unique moment where I think it is going to change back, and it'll change back in. It'll keep flip-flopping. Sure. But I think one of the catalysts right now is all the AI stuff. Yeah. I mean, even since we last talked, the amount of AI stuff, and the thing about the AI stuff is that most of it, 99% of it, is super high production feeling. Yeah. And so it already, and I'm, as a guy that makes videos for a living for companies, that I've dedicated my life to making high production looks for people that normally they couldn't achieve.
Right?
Yeah, I'm a little threatened. It's just like, well, this is weird. I don't know what to tell my client. It depends on the client. We might need to do something more stripped down. And you get stripped down enough, it's like, why am I even involved? Kind of thing. It's a weird thing. So luckily with we're battling it right now. I make videos for Trans Am Worldwide that they make these amazing new modern Chevelles, and they did do the Trans Am and all that. And our videos, it's been a little tricky lately, man. Like even picking out the right thumbnail, like I'm having to specifically not use thumbnails that are when I do a studio lit shot of the car, because it looks like it's AI. I mean, it's not, but it's too polished. I got to pick the shot that's like the random where the sun happened to hit it, and it can't I don't know, should it not look that good? And I'm doing A/B testing, and like in the last video that did the best, it was like just the shot in the sun, car coming out of the trailer. There were people in it, so I was like, everything about this sells that it's real, and I think that's why this one won. Even though this other shot that I couldn't be more proud of the lighting scheme that I came up for it. I spent 12 hours doing this lit product shoot, spent years figuring out how to do this. And I'm like, man, I can't put that. It's got to be in the video. Buried with other stuff so people believe that it's real. And anyone that watches one of our videos knows that it's real once they start watching it, because there's enough the mechanics and the painters and everybody involved in the carbon fiber. This is a weird world
style too.
They really are documentaries. They're like 20-25 minute documentaries, so you're watching a real thing. But it's weird, man. This AI spin on it. It's like I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. And I think
that's insightful, man. That's cool to hear from your standpoint, because I know the type of work you do there, and it's just an interesting take.
Hey guys, if you're enjoying the podcast, that's awesome. We really appreciate it. But you should check out our full actual web series if you have not seen it yet, because this is where we put all the effort into a production. It's a sci-fi comedy, but we're a rock band, and so we put music videos inside of each episode.
No views but your own easy escape. Don't pay no mind to what they say. They're in their own world anyway.
Each episode features a new singer on each song that we unveil within the episode.
All unique singers from the Southeast region, most of them from right here in the Florida Panhandle, and all independent, unsigned, unknown artists until now.
No matter how hard I try, turn it down.
Premise of the show, Ash and I are a couple of bonehead guitar players living off the grid, trying to save humanity, which has been brainwashed from an artificial intelligence stripping us away of our creativity and our creative spirit.
We developed a mind travel machine to go into people's brains and collaborate with their inner muses, bringing back music that is completely organic from human muse collaborations. Enter Cue The Muses. You know what, we're kind of getting sidetracked, man. There's only so much time for frequency absorption. We need to hop on it. Can you fire up the cadence tubes?
Yeah.
And I'll go ahead and get my shoes tied.
Okay. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and click the little bell. Tell YouTube that we matter, that you like us, and that you want to see more of us, because that's the only way that happens. Stay tuned.
You know,
it's a weird experiment.
Here's
my prediction. I want to throw one prediction out there. I do think the next wave is going to be that more people are going to do AI recreations that just look exactly like your phone does.
Sure. I mean,
I think that's going to happen. They can already, and people are just excited to get the powerhouse that is like a cinema looking thing.
Yeah. But want to make Star Wars YouTube videos.
Well, it's like, oh, it's great, but it's gonna. I think it's gonna switch, and I think it's gonna get way trickier. We're gonna see more and more phone clip stuff that looks like it was shot on the phone. That is like the AI stuff, and then I don't know which way to go.
I mean, you make a great point though, just about it being believable and human, and you know, I think some of the flaws are what make it believable. You know, like when I'm sitting here, sitting on my amp, just playing into a phone with no mics. Just a cranked up amp. I intentionally set my lighting bad often. Like I'll have myself all backlit looking like total shit, like totally on purpose. And I'm like, this looks like because I've just done it enough that I'm like, it's just like backlit, looking like pure shit with a phone. Like it just works. Standing on my deck with no microphone, talking about guitars, like there's just something about it that nobody at this time is like making an AI video that just looks like complete dog shit.
Exactly.
But you're right. Like the capability is 100% there. It's just people are very much into like, oh, what's the coolest looking and most polished looking I can make.
Well, it's just like anybody that gets into a guitar effect for the first time, and it's so wet. It's 100% wet. Like, dude, just 20% of that's magic.
This reverb is great. Turn it on.
I can't even tell what notes you're hitting at this point. But
man, you're so right. It's going to be interesting. There's no telling where it's going to go. The whole thing is scary. To a large
happening with music, I think. The music listener, like I asked my son to put something on the 2-hour ride home we had this afternoon, and he put a group on, and I forget the name of the group, but they were instrumental group. It sounded like Blood Mountain era Mastodon without vocals, and it was just raw. It sounded like live recording almost. Great tunes. He said they were from Pittsburgh. I was like, who is this band? Where are they from? He's like, oh, they're from Pittsburgh. I was like, this is awesome. This is what you're listening to. He's like, yeah, they're great. It's like, I was like, it doesn't sound like nothing's produced, nothing's overdone, just great killer riffs, cool music. Drums were raw. It definitely wasn't, superior drummer or nothing like that. I was like, this is where it's kind of shifting back to, we've had an era of super high production. AI music is out now. This is what kids are gravitating because they know it's real. Like you feel
for now.
For now
until it starts to mimic raw.
And then we're all screwed.
But then what? Then what? Like
exactly. What is next? That's what I'm waiting for. Like
live shows only. It's gonna start.
That's right.
Start coming back. People are gonna want to see it. Yeah.
There's no way it won't spur the live experience to be what people chase. It's the thing. The grass is always greener, whenever you feel like you're saturated with something and you want you want something different. The live music is going to be such a foreign thing for so many people, that that's the thing that you're going to gravitate to. That's the only way you can get the thing that's like the real.
Until they get those Optimus robots. Have you heard about
dude, I know all about Optimus.
They teach the Optimus how to play the guitar. Then we're all done.
I saw, this is just funny in a semi-related sense, but I heard that like mall real estate is on the prices are on the rise for the first time in decades because they're finding that the younger generation wants to go back to the mall, and shop.
There you go.
It's just like
I believe it.
For the longest time, we're like, who the fuck's gonna go? And I'm still like, I'm not going to the mall. Why would I go to the mall?
I'm not.
Maybe like my kids who are 6 and 9, they probably will want to go to the mall.
The trick with the mall is it's like if you go to the mall, you got to be old enough to have some money to spend at the mall.
Right.
It's like, how do you keep the store open if only kids are coming and all they've got is $20 for the day?
I mean, I hung out at the mall as a teenager or 16.
Totally for free. I got kicked out for loitering all the time.
Right? In our era, it was
but I spent so little money.
A buddy worked in the food court, you get free A&W or something.
That too. You get all your friends to give you.
Hanging out in the whatever record store was there, just like you said, having no money to buy anything.
Oh yeah, they got the listening station in there.
You got the Misfit CDs that I wanted to buy.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, I would probably spend on an average. Of course, there's inflation now, but I would go with like $5, maybe $10. I'd hit the arcade up, play a little Mortal Kombat 2. Go over here and and then unfortunately, that was where I experimented with shoplifting. As a kid, I did it. And get this, I'm going to say this on camera.
What'd you get?
I'm forever going to burn in hell for this. I stole, this is as a young kid, dude. I mean, I learned my lesson fast and I've never shoplifted. I shoplifted 3 times in 2 weeks because I got away with it the first couple times. I got caught the third time, never did it again.
Oh, no.
And now it's a moral thing. I just don't do it. However, the first thing I ever shoplifted was the single. It was a tape. It was a cassette tape. And it was the single. I mean, I'm taking the risk on a single, not even the full album. Ace of Base.
Oh, no.
Ace of Was it the sign? Tell me it was the sign.
It was the sign.
It was the sign.
Dude, I was in 4th or 5th grade. I tried it so early.
Man.
And yeah, that was crazy, man. And then I got caught for shoplifting a necklace at Spencer's later.
Oh,
like
no.
2
you
weeks
got caught
later.
for the necklace. You got away with
I got
Ace
caught
of
for
Base.
the necklace. I got away with one necklace and a poster, and then the next week I was trying to show off to my friend that I could shoplift. And then I took a poster. So in 5th grade, like in a 2-week span, one summer, I shoplifted 3 times, got caught on the 3rd time, never shoplifted again.
Was it bad when you got caught, or was it just a slap on the wrist?
It was really a slap on the wrist, in that they called my mom.
Yeah,
You know, like she said, "Hey, where's that?" She followed me outside of the shop. The lady that worked there, at this point, a young girl, but I was such a young boy, I thought it was an adult. And she said, "Hey, where's the necklace that you were holding?" And I was like, I mean, dude, I was freaked, you know, as a little kid, and it was in my pocket, and I put it right back on the shelf. And just like, show me. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm walking in, and she's walking right behind me, and I pull it out of my pocket and grab it off the shelf.
Right there.
And she's
It's
like,
right there.
okay, I saw you pull it out of your pocket. We're calling your mom. I busted out in tears. Oh, it's so bad, man.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Ace of Base.
So I can't top the necklace, but I can
Okay.
top the Ace of Base, because I in my teen years I shoplifted too. Specs Music, cassette tape, Pantera Far Beyond Driven.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
way cooler than Ace of Base.
I got out of that store with Far Beyond Driven, and my buddies were waiting in the car. Like, I don't think any of us had a driver's license. And I was like, walking out all fucking cool. Like, yeah. Got in the car. I was like, we're jamming on the way home, boys. You know, like strength beyond strength. And I didn't get caught, but it didn't make it a habit. That was the only time.
Good for you.
It was
One and
just,
done.
it was
I do not have any shoplifting stories.
Good.
good.
I had lots of friends who were very good at it. I had friends who were very good at it, and I was kind of jealous that they were very good at it, but I didn't go for it.
There was a pressure among kids to like kind of have done it, you know, and then it was like how the closer it was to the register, the thing that you stole, the cooler you were. I didn't get into this game.
The thing was,
That's
some
right.
guys could pull off like some big shit.
Yeah.
That sounds like a terrible game. Like,
yeah.
Oh man, I had one friend show up. This is later, 17, but he showed up with his station wagon, and he comes in and he's like, "Dude, I've got a newspaper machine in the back of my the back of my station wagon." I was like, "Are you serious?" And we went out there, and he had it. Yeah, and I was like, "Dude, get the fuck out of here!"
like a printing newspaper machine?
No, like you know, where you put the quarters in and you pull the door down and you grab newspapers out. He took the whole thing, the entire thing.
What's even the point of that?
He wanted to get into the quarters.
Yeah.
God,
It was filled with however much money, but my God, I mean, it was like, yeah. And he was drunk too.
Like $10 out of that thing.
Oh,
Probably.
man.
And for that risk, insane.
All right, no more shoplifting.
No more
Kids,
shoplifting.
Full
Yeah.
disclaimer: we do not the Cue The Muses podcast does not support shoplifting.
We don't.
Neither does Mr. Steve Reis. No, but Steve, so tell the listeners and tell me, because I want to know, where can we go to find the guitars, the pedals, particularly the pedals for me, because that's what I'm really.
Yeah, I mean, the pedals are at doesitdoom.com, and the Woodrite Guitars are at woodwriteguitars.com, and we're in select shops around the country. If you're in New York, we have guitars at the Music Zoo. And if you're in Charlotte, North Carolina, we have guitars at Vera Guitars. I think I'm wearing one of their hoodies right here. Vera Guitars.
Nice.
Oh, sweet.
There it is, guys. That's where I got Kyron.
That's where we plecked. They're a great shop, good friends of mine, and we do a lot of work with them. And then Motor City Guitar in Michigan, it carries a massive selection of all of our guitars and pedals. and usually has the full lineup of both or close to it.
Awesome.
And then we've got some smaller shops throughout the country, and then like I said, Andertons over in the UK is huge for us. They've got all the pedals, and they're going to be carrying Woodrite guitars here starting probably next month. And Coda Music in the UK has the pedals, and then Pedal Empire in Australia has guitars and pedals. So yeah, fortunate to be working with a bunch of killer shops, and
worldwide, no doubt.
Yeah, we are worldwide. We're still working on, like I said, getting into Andertons is huge because they kind of service the UK and the EU, but it would be nice to get into a EU specific, shop so that people don't have to worry about tariffs and VAT at all. But I think Andertons is set up well where they calculate it into the price so people know their final price when they're purchasing. No surprises or whatnot. Because with us, if they buy from us, we tell them, set aside 20% for VAT, but we don't know exact tax rates that people are going to pay when they buy internationally. But 20% is usually safe. And yeah, we're still trying to get a shop up in Canada. So
that's surprising. You don't have one yet. What's going on with that?
Jay and I are both from Canada. Honestly, man, it's like two of the biggest, longest standing shops over there just shut down within weeks of each other. Within the past 6 weeks. So Steve's Music, which was huge in Ontario, shut down, and Rufus Guitars in BC shut down. Both pretty large, long standing shops. So just trying to find someone that we can work with up there. I really would love to get some of our gear up in Canada, being from Canada myself, and my partner at Woodbine is from Canada. So we really want to get the brand up there. But again, people can always order pedals or guitars directly from us. We ship up there all the time. To be honest, we ship all over the world all the time, all to Europe, to UK, to Australia. We've shipped everywhere. I mean, we've shipped to crazy places that I would have never imagined we would ship to.
That's so cool. That's so cool.
It is rad,
and I know like in Germany, like here in the States, like amp brands like Engel, are like really, really high end, like more expensive than the others. But then in Germany where they're from, it's flipped, and like the Mesas are like the really
they're paying the import tax, right?
Yeah. So that is there any way to get around that if you're exclusively selling to a store in that area? You mentioned like with the EU, it makes it easier for them, or is that a different?
Well, the trick there is that they buy at their discounted cost, right? They're going to buy at a dealer discounted cost, so they bring it in and they pay less tax than if if a buyer's buying at MSRP retail, they're paying a higher tax because just the total value of the product is higher. So when a dealer buys it, they buy it at a reduced rate, so their tax is less, so they can charge a bit less. But honestly, sometimes it doesn't work out to be that much different because they also have to pay the shipping and shipping and a tax on top of it. It just doesn't end up being oftentimes like dramatically different than just buying from us.
Yeah.
But sometimes you save a bit. It just depends.
Well, I think at the end of the day, if somebody's seeking regardless of it even being a Woodrite guitar, when you know what it is that you're really after, I've never not gotten the specific thing that I wanted just based on taxes, tariffs, etc. It's like it's annoying. It sucks. But if you really want that specific thing, there is no replacement for it.
Sure.
That's the thing that
that holds true in a lot of cases. But I think some guys really want to try it before they play it, or try it before they buy it, or just have the peace of mind that maybe if it doesn't work for them, they can return it, which we offer again returns. But if you pulled it in and you're in Spain and you want to return it, it's just a bigger hassle than if you're here and you want to return it. You just ship it back. It's easy. But you're definitely right. If I want something, I'm going to search it out, and it doesn't matter where I find it. I would take the chance and order from anywhere. Just, I guess, from my own standpoint, I've shipped all over. So, I would order something from Australia. Certainly, I've got stuff from England. I've got multiple Mad amps. I've got, I've ordered from Spain. I've ordered from throughout the EU. I mean, just depending. But I'm not. I don't worry about it too much. But you will pay the tax.
Yeah, music people. When we find something we want, we're gonna go after it. I shamefully collect a specific model of ESP with the with the rounded headstock, the 6x6 headstock from like
Uh-huh.
the 2000s.
Uh-huh.
People don't like them, but I have like 4 of them.
Yeah.
I just love them. Like when I see one online for less than $400, like I just get it. Like it's like I gotta have it.
Get it. I gotta check this out. I don't know if I'm familiar with what you're talking about, but
Yeah, the
I'll see.
mid-aught LTDs that have the Horizon with that headstock. So
Okay.
it's the
Sure.
super strat style.
Ah,
I have too many of them.
and people hate them, but you love them. I like that.
Love them. They make fun of the headstock. And I'm like, I like the cock stocks. I think they're cool.
People make fun of that headstock.
Yeah. No, so like I'm in a couple of the ESP LTD forums, like online,
Okay.
to play or whatever. And
The cock stock.
every time somebody takes a picture of one, puts it up, there's like all these haters, like, oh, that's the stupid.
Really?
one. Oh, they're so dumb. The ugliest thing ever.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm like, what? I don't like the pointy ones. What are you guys talking about?
It's funny, man.
No, but so Ash, we have a mutual friend who's actually trying to be a authorized Woodrite dealer.
Yeah.
You remember Chris Bacon?
Mm-hmm.
So he messes me.
Not Kevin Bacon, but Chris Bacon.
Chris Bacon, former vocalist for DNR.
Yeah.
I think he owns almost one of every one of your guitar styles.
That's
does
rad.
he?
Yeah, I've talked
Does
to
he?
Chris a bunch of times, and he emailed me about that, wanting to carry our gear. And I guess he's thinking about getting a brick and mortar shop going. And yeah, man, I mean, I told him, of course, anyone who's a big fan of our gear and like to that level and wants to stock it in store, I mean, we're stoked to be working with them. It's one thing to kind of be selling yourself, but if someone's already kind of in the stratosphere of the Does It Doom Woodrite thing,
Absolutely.
and they wanted to carry the gear, I mean, we're all about it. So
Well, and
he's
really when he likes something, he's very vocal about endorsing, regardless whether it's gear or a band or a person. Like,
Sure.
I mean, he's a very outspoken character. And so I'm sure, if he's into it, he'll be a good spokesperson for the brand.
Yeah, man, I'd be stoked. I hope he gets it up and running.
I'd like-
Yeah, I hope so too. That'd be awesome.
That's another thing that I think I'd like to see more of, and I think really needs to stay relevant, is the mom and pop hands-on music store. The instrument store.
Sure.
I'm sure both of you can attest to the difference between buying an instrument sight unseen versus buying one that you play in the store. Now, granted, I ordered the Woodrite Vagabond sight unseen, but it came and it's immaculate, and it's, you guys are not really what I would say like you're not a cookie cutter brand, an instrument brand either. I'd be hesitant to order like a new, large name brand just built from overseas, wherever. But the difference in being able to go into a shop and really tactile, just play it and try them out, really feel them out and do that is something that was a big part of my childhood, and being a young musician growing into, who I am, being those experiences in those type of stores was kind of just a really core, memory experience, I think, as per musician.
Yeah, it's important, no doubt. I mean, especially for the younger crowd, and like you said, just getting it. I love having the opportunity to have our gear in the stores for people to go try them before they buy them. See, because some people don't know. You can read the reviews online and you can see all you can, but you need to go try it in person.
It's always preferable if it's an option.
Yeah.
I bit the bullet and got I have the ESP EC1000. It was the first electric guitar that I really started to learn how to play guitar on. And I had to order it because they didn't have one in the store. And I lucked out. That guitar actually ended up being a unicorn. I don't even know. I mean, the lineup of those guitars was good, but that specific one, it has a little magic to it. But of course, it would have been better to have gotten, it'd been preferable to have gotten to play it some. There's a real reason to have a shop like that, so you can go in and physically touch these things, because it's also your hand. I mean, every guitar is different to every hand.
Yeah, no doubt.
And
neck
you might
profiles, right?
Absolutely.
Neck profiles online. Like, I don't know. There are a few. I mean, I deal with neck profile measurements all the time, so I'd probably have a reasonable idea of what it feels like. But I feel like probably 95% of players have no idea reading a neck profile.
I couldn't tell you. All I can tell you is, oh, this feels like a 60s.
Yeah.
It's it's like a baseball bat in the back, and then this one feels like a 2000s Ibanez. It's super
the
thin.
weight, right? The weight, the fret sizes matter. The fret size, again, that's something we've done different. Big stainless frets or medium jumbo nickel frets, that feels different. Different size necks feel different. Different fretboard radii. Like there's so much, and even just the weight of the instrument, how's it balanced? Like all of that really is important. And certainly I've bought some guitars and ended up sending them back because they got here and I'm like, this isn't really what I expected. I try not to do that. I haven't done it a bunch, but I have done it, a handful of times.
Yeah. Well, and then there's also the experience of having a new feel of a guitar, and then you actually just at first it feels potentially a little bit foreign. And it's different, but that also kind of makes it a little fun. And then it kind of makes you come up with something you never would have come up with before. Like, I never. And then before you know it, you got a different little relationship happening with that guitar. And now you got this set of songs. And, I'm never getting rid of this. I mean, that's me. Anyway. I don't get rid of anything. I get too attached. I'm the same way, unfortunately, with my cameras, too. I've got some cameras that.
I bet you got a bunch of
dude, I should have sold them so long. But now it's like, to sell them for the price that they would sell for makes no sense. I could have, I mean, God forbid, my studio burns down and that's the only thing that's still around, this 12 or 14-year-old camera. I'm like, I've been watching my videos. I still use those video clips in my current videos because they look that good still if you know how to work it. Yeah, I could run my whole business with that old ass camera. There's a magic mojo to it if you have the right thing. So I don't know. I like the relationship that you build with and stories that you tell with each individual like artistic tool. But I do think that there is something more of I will say, even though I love my cameras, I don't have the relationship with them that I do with my guitars. There is something different about the physical, wood and strings and vibrations versus a digital sensor that I don't feel like it's as much of a spiritual connection with my camera. Even though I love doing camera work, like kind of at this point just as much as my music, but the camera tool itself, it is different than a guitar. A guitar is more of, maybe because it was, a tree. I don't know.
Yeah.
Live at one point and
I don't know, it's more of a living physical tactile thing that changes. Even if it gets cooked in the sun, it changes a bit, and maybe it changes for the better. I mean, that might be a bad thing to say,
don't let it cook in the sun. Don't let it cook in the sun.
Well, not directly. I'm just saying I have guitars that have aged that I think sound better than when I got them, you know?
Or you leave it in the sun. I had a guitar on a rack for a long time. It totally aged the finish. Like I'd like not trying to. I just left it on a rack. Had a SG on a rack for years, and it just aged. It looked beautiful.
It looked beautiful, right? Yeah.
It's like pull the pick guard off. It was like bright red underneath.
Oh yeah, those pick guards will cover up with. Yeah,
it's like old cars, Like,
I'm like your old cameras probably aren't patina. Patina-ing.
No. Really? I can't get a patina happening on. Although I did drop my most expensive one underwater.
I remember that.
Day. That sounds like a bad day.
Dude, I don't know if you're familiar with cameras at all, but it's a red Epic Dragon. This is the same camera that they used to film The Hobbit with. Actually, it's the one that came after The Hobbit. And I was filming some fish in slow-mo in my little fountain pond in the back of my yard.
Macro lens something?
And the macro lens was on it. And it was like amazing. And I turned around to grab some fish food to sprinkle there so they'd come up for the lens. And then my wife was watching. She's like, oh my God. And I turned around and the whole thing had nosedived into the water. And the camera, I pulled it out. It got completely submerged. Water's just pouring off of it. It's turned off at this point. So water had shut it off, So I was like, I just killed my camera. That was kind of like a culmination of all my hard work in video to finally gotten that camera, just like an amazing guitar. And I put it in Reis for a week and a half and didn't try to turn it on. And then I tried to turn it on and it works.
No way.
Dude, it worked. I mean, I still am using it to this day, along with other cameras, but unbelievable. I can't believe it still works.
No, that is the absolute right call what you did, because it's when it's off and it's wet, it's okay.
Yeah.
I used to work in an elevator shop that built residential elevators, and they had this huge, and Steve, you know what these are, these huge CNC router machines.
Yeah.
And the tech came in to service the CNC router. And there was like a little hallway that had a restroom and a sink, like an open sink there. And I walked by, and the tech had the circuit board under the water in the sink, and he's just underwater. And I was like,
okay.
I was like, bro, what are you doing? He was like, he looked over his shoulder like, what the fuck is this kid getting me? Like, I'm doing my job. I'm servicing the machine. I was like, you got the circuit board in the water. What are you doing? He was like, he said, and he educated me. He was like, no, listen to me. He was like, water's an electricity conductor. This thing is not on. I'm not hurting anything. It's there. This water is going to do nothing. All I'm doing is cleaning the board. I'm going to dry it thoroughly. And then when I turn it back on, I'm not going to turn it on when it's wet.
Wow.
Tell me, like, you dumb kid, like, just leave me alone. Like, I know what I'm doing. And I was like, blew my mind. And it changed my perspective a little bit. Like,
interesting.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely where people run into problems. My buddy had a big leak the other day, and a leak in his ceiling of his jam room, and like and it was like raining on his fucking mat amps, like the ceiling from the ceiling. But same thing, he let them dry out for a couple of weeks and fired them back up, and they're good to go.
That patience is important, right? Like just overcompensate. There's just give it another week.
Right.
Yeah. If my camera, the thing that surprised me was that it was on when it went in the water and off when I pulled it out. So I thought I fried it, I don't know. I mean, that, and the top of that camera, the way that it is, it has fans. Like when you boot it up, it sounds like a computer. It goes
cooling fan.
It's a real, like,
Did
expensive camera.
Did it turn off?
That's what I'm saying. When I pulled it out, that thing was off. And so it went off because it went in the water.
God, that must have been a shitty few weeks, just wondering, like, would it still work? Is it cooked?
Dude.
Like, just in your...
Well, what happened was I was devastated. But I was like, as a person that does this for a living, I was like, I have to replace it with I need another A camera. So I started shopping for cameras, planned on getting this other camera that was a Canon. And then before I order the Canon, I turned the red on and it works. And I'm like, oh my God. And then I was like, but I was so planning to get that Canon. Like I had fallen in love with this other camera. I was like, I think I'm going to go ahead and get that just in case. Cause and so I got it too. So it instigated me getting another camera. And I was like, God, but it worked out. It was actually a great decision, and it's opened other doors for me, but I wouldn't have.
I know that RC has changed your game.
Dude, I mean, it's opened up a lot of doors, and it's I also, another thing, even on my own personal channel where I talk about filming and editing and teaching about that kind of stuff, a lot more people are interested in cameras that they can achieve getting. Sure. The Red was out of reach for so many people, and the Canon was more affordable. And then to actually find out that it's competitive with the Red, it was like, it really opened my eyes a bit. So anyway, it's been good for my channel too. And that's been a fun little community of people. That's fun. Yeah, it is fun. Steve, I mean, I got to tell you, it does feel good to have people come up and tell you that whether they got your guitar, they got an amp, like, yeah, I got this because of your videos. Like that's happened with me with some of my camera gear. And it's like, dude, that's so awesome. Like it means so much to me to know that you're like, you're loving it. You're having fun. Like you're maybe making a little career out of it or whatever it is, or you're making your art. That is so awesome to have that kind of little ripple impact. And you're doing it on a much bigger scale than I am with mine, but just the little bit that I've had, it's got to feel really purposeful, like great, and accomplishment, like what you get from doing your channel. I think it's so cool, man. It's so great.
Yeah, thanks, man. No doubt. I mean, that's all that was a really cool thing about NAMM, and just meeting so many people who are fans of the channel and had, I go to shows and I meet a few people right here. Every time I go to a show, I'll meet a handful, 10 people, or if I'm even in Charlotte, everybody already knows me. But if I go out of town or something, but at NAMM, it was like hundreds, and it was just kind of crazy on that scale.
So cool.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I'm happy if I could help. I'm not I'm like an intermediate guitarist with a few decades of experience, and you know, we teach some doom metal. And if I've taught someone about what I know of gear or songs or whatever, you know, I'm really happy that I'm able to do that. So, and that they care enough to watch. So,
yeah,
Dude,
and
awesome.
the world needs more doom. I mean, it needs more doom metal. not
in musical form.
the doom metal.
it seems pretty doomed right now.
I know, it's pretty wild.
Hey,
Oh.
so Ash actually and Steve, inspired in part by you and the doom culture. That is the group that Jeff Withers is starting up in Tallahassee. Ash is a doom group, like specifically doom. Him and John are back together. And this is stuff, Steve, you don't know these people, but they're musicians in Tallahassee that then they're doing a doom group, and I think
Awesome.
their name is Blackwater Burn, and they're
that's fun.
They're rehearsing at my spot up there in
Cool. That's really cool. You can lend them that.
Yeah, just looking for
More doom. I like it.
Nice.
World needs more doom. So kids, check out Steve Reis channel. Steve Reis channel. Sorry, I knew I was going to do that.
That's been happening to me since I was a kid.
Go to doesitdoom.com.
Brad.
Get you a pedal. I want to get a pedal. I'm going to get a pedal. I want the Mike Sanchez. I want that dirty Sanchez coming out.
I'm so curious to see what that thing is, man. That's
if there is a pre-order list for that, just
there you go.
Put me on it, man.
We will do the dirty Sanchez. It's going to be sick.
Awesome. Awesome, man.
Great being on here. Thank you guys for having me again. It's great to see you both.
Yeah, you too, man. It was great.
Thank you, Steve. All right.
All right.
I'll get us out of here. Everyone, thanks for listening. This has been episode 98 of the MuseCast with your hosts, Ash and Dick, and our guest, Steve. Take care, brother.